Okay, as usual, before we start the tier list, thank you to Frey, as usual. He's the one who always keeps on making this tier list every season without a miss. That's the GOAT. That's the GOAT graphic artist. Free labor graphic artist. But anyway, what do we think of? Let's always start with what do we think of this season, right? What do we think of the Paldayan Wonders rank season? I think it's at least a lot better. It sucks. I think it's at least a lot better in the sense that you're not getting High Dragon Ice Pop every game now. But still, of course, we cannot deny that a lot of the games are still decided by if you get your cards or not. But at least you're not getting we're coping by at least not getting Ice Pop every single game this season. Yeah, at least we're definitely seeing some meta shift because finally Suicune Greninja is kind of gone. I thought it was great. Yeah, I think a lot of people can also say the same. I think a lot of people are actually enjoying the season a lot more. Good season, a lot of new decks, but mid. I think we did have a lot of good new ones that we will get into later. I don't play enough, but there are more. Funnily enough, actually, if I compare the tier list for last season to this season, there's actually more decks last season. But to be fair, the last season's quote and unquote more decks, they were mostly cope anyway, so I guess that doesn't really count. Only one deck, Altaria. But anyway, let's get this started. Where should we start? What deck should we start? Let's start with Goldengo. Let's start with Goldengo. I intentionally put Goldengo even though this deck is so dog water. This is actual dumpster tier. I still put it though, even though I didn't play the, even though I did not even see it on rank at all, I think. But we put it in for the love of the game. Yeah, put it in D tier. Both of them D tier. First both of them are first to dumpster tier. Both of them are first dumpster tier. What's next? I think let's start with some. Yeah, day one, day one Goldengo. Who remembers? High Dragon. I think High Dragon is still. High Dragon is still A tier. High Dragon is still A tier this season. I wouldn't put it in S tier anymore though, because Suicune Baxcalibur actually does good into it. And even Bellibolt can actually be okay, although it's a losing matchup for Bellibolt. And Altaria Gorgeist should defeat it on paper because you have Chingling, right? Excited to see where we will get there. B is debatable even for Hydra. I see. I think it's still a very strong ranked deck because it's a High Dragon, right? Because you can always just high roll rather. That's why High Dragon will always be strong in that sense. Yeah, it's definitely like it's definitely felt a lot weaker. It's like you're not getting Ice Pop. I think that's really the good thing with this meta. We're not getting Ice Pop every game. Yeah, I agree with Sensi. Ninetales, okay. It's actually funny. People actually played Ninetales Baxcalibur. Can this even be cope tier? Low-key, this is dumpster tier, no? Like, why are you trying to be different and playing Ninetales Baxcalibur? Like, just play Baxcalibur Suicune and be a normal person. It won't even qualify for cope tier. And next, see, yeah, we do see it like Ninetales Suicune Baxcalibur. I've faced it quite a few times this season, and I'm thinking whenever I see this deck is, why are you playing this instead of Suicune Baxcalibur? That's all that goes into my head whenever I face this deck. Next, let's get some psychic decks out of the way. Yeah, I would say it's not even that bad. I would agree with it, but because you can play Team Star Grunt, you can finally use your dusted Team Star full art. That's more fun. Bro, there are actually so many Altaria, it's crazy. Let's get on with Chandelure Melt though. I faced this on the first few days of rank. It's Chandelure Melt. It can really be broken when it flips and stacks that damage, but aside from that, it's not really a rank deck, right? Separate Altaria variant. Can you throw all those fairy verbs up in S? Also, I think a really good rank. I think a really good deck that was that happened this season is actually Gorgai's Houndstone. It's been this deck is really funny because it's been performing well in tournaments, but you will almost never see it on rank because it's just not that ranked deck, right? But it's got a good win rate on tournament, so I will give it that. It hard loses to Hydra. I guess that's that too, right? Yeah. And also, I think this probably sucks into Suicune Baxcalibur as well. So it makes sense why it's only a good tourney deck and not really a ranked deck. Tell that to Pokemon should stop 1k with... Ooh! I see. Let's get another... Also bad into Pumpkin. Yeah, this gets shit on by the other Pumpkin deck, which is our first S tier. No questions asked, right? No questions asked. Is the best deck this season. Pretty sure we cannot. Pretty sure it's not debatable. Straight up best deck of this season. And the funny thing is, I already put this in S tier last season, and people were low-key questioning me for it, but it's such a good deck. It doesn't have a counter on paper. Every matchup is a good matchup for you on paper. On paper, if you're not breaking or not getting high rolled. So it makes sense why it's a really good, consistent and reliable, just good all-around deck. Next, it's anti-copycat. Yes, because you can play a lot of your cards, right? So you can easily play around copycat, which copycat is a lot of evil. This nobody can debate S on this one for sure. I agree with you. Let's get to Meowscarada. Meowscarada is another dumpster tier. I'm sorry. I wouldn't even put it past Ninetales Baxcalibur. It's so bad I won't even put it past Ninetales Baxcalibur. It unfortunately came to the wrong meta. Maybe it can get better when it get better, cards that synergizes with it. But for now, Meowscarada is not that guy, unfortunately. Unfortunately, not that guy. Personally, I always lose to it as Hydra. Oh, for real? I mean, I guess I never played Hydra, so that makes sense. And I was always on Altaria when I faced this. That's why I'm farming it pretty much. But like I guess it's just a bit too slow. I mean, it's not really slow because you can always attack when you curve. But it's just not other decks are just better into it. It's just doesn't have the best matchup spread right now. Especially with a lot of Altaria around. It's just not a... I can tell if it's on power with Desi. Like... I mean, Desi isn't a good deck still this season, right? I didn't even put it because I never paced it, but that's actually debatable whether what's better between the two. Loses to like everything but High Dragon, yeah, and even High Dragon can probably win against this if you just high roll. Yeah, basically same deck in practice. Next, let's actually go with Suicune Greninja, the two Suicune Greninjas. Yeah, Desi is actually better against Suicune. That's I guess that's the edge of this the CGI. Greninja. I never even put Venusaur, but I guess that's going in Cope tier anyway. Greninja is mid tier. Do I even put it past Altaria Gorgai's Houndstone? Probably not. S. Oh hell nah. Nah, even I do not believe that this season. But if you're going to play Suicune Greninja this season, I think 2 Greninja EX is better. I think we just never tested it, or I personally never tested it myself because there's just other better decks to play this season. So you pretty much have no reason to test out Suicune Greninja if it's still viable. I don't know if it's even B. Yeah, we can even actually put it in Cope tier. But I'd say let's put it in mid tier because I feel like for example, if you only keep on running to Altaria, if you get to run the Altaria Gauntlet, you actually have a really high chance of getting some wins there because Suicune Greninja actually does well into Altaria. Everyone's sleeping. We're not really sleeping on it. It's just that there are just better decks this season. Yeah, I would not deny that. I feel like it's playable. It's just that no one's testing it to be playable or to be competitive enough this season. Because it makes sense. Well, why are you going to waste your time playing Suicune Greninja when you have a lot of better decks that just easily better fit into the meta right now? And I think speaking of other mid tiers, I think Horizon is another. Is Horizon another mid tier? I guess I would say it is another mid tier because if we put it in A, we're pretty much going to say it's on par with the other A decks that will go in here later. But a lot of people actually. But you would bring yeah, actually Horizon could be good into GGB because it shits on Altaria Greninja. Oh, don't worry, we have a Belly Zone here. It's a different decks. We have Belly Zone here. But yeah, it's crazy how Belly Zone just with the addition of one line of Belly Bolt, Magnezone, this Magnezone deck has like infinitely became better. I don't think it's speaking about it, I don't think it's A tier though. I would put it on A, past High Dragon, I would say. Or do I even put it past High Dragon? I think I would. Yeah, it's A for sure. And the other Belly Zone deck, yeah, it does brick too much. Not really too much. It does brick, but when you get your guys, it's really strong. And you would want to play 2 copycats here, I think. So it's a lot more consistent. Mid-tier Gamba deck. Belizera. Would I put Belizera higher though? But because I do see that Belizera is a really good deck as well. I would definitely put Belizera on A. I just don't know if I put it past Belizone. I mean we have Sylar. If you guys know Sylar is top 100 with playing a lot of Belizera. Maybe, I guess, in terms of rank, okay, we're mostly talking about rank here anyway, right? So, Belizera will be a faster deck, and so it's probably going to be a better rank deck as well. I don't like Belizera. If it's GGB, that's a little different. Yeah, I agree with Sensi. Yeah, exactly. We came to the same thoughts, right? It's better suited for rank because it would be a lot faster for sure, and if you high roll, you will definitely get going a lot easier. Yeah, which is that's what you should be in rank, right? You need to be putting in fast games and then putting in a lot of games. All right, what deck should we go with next? Let's remove the cope decks for now. Mawile, cope tier, no question about it. I've faced a lot of Mawile actually this season, but that makes sense because I'm low ranked. I'm low ranked, so it makes sense that I'm facing a lot of Mawile. Melmetal is another cope tier. I'm sorry. Even though I'm like 1 win 4 loss into Melmetal this season. I think I lost 1 to Mawile, and everything I won. No way Mawile is better than Goldengo. And I mean, the thing is, if you can get like insane going second games and then just roll from there. Yeah, I forgot to put Guzzlord Indeedee here. Guzzlord Indeedee would be in cope tier. Steelix Indeedee, I also faced some Steelix Indeedee. This is also another cope tier deck. Bellyzone has to be S tier. It's so consistently strong. The problem is we're pretty much saying it's the same strength as Altaria Gorgeist, which I think a lot of people would not agree, right? Like, I can acknowledge it's definitely strong, but we're if we're putting this like Satoru Gojo tier, S tier for the JJK people, it's pretty much just saying for example, the A tier Bellyzone is Yuta. Are you going to compare Yuta and Gojo? They're not the same strength, right? They're both really good. They're both really good sorcerers, but there's still a lot of difference between Gojo and Yuta. That's how I'll put it. For the JJK knowers, I hope that makes sense. Type shit. For the JJK knowers, I hope that makes sense. Agree. Belly can never. Yeah, exactly. In that sense, I think last season I didn't agree with Altaria Greninja being a better what they call this, being an S tier deck, but I think it's actually S tier even though I don't face it much. This is definitely an S tier deck. What am I saying? This is definitely an S tier deck, but it's my only problem with this deck is it's very high rolly, but that's the thing the reason why it's really good is because for that exact reason that it can high roll. Because of yeah, the funny thing is this is actually the only losing matchup of Altaria Gorgeist. Every Altaria Gorgeist matchup on Limitless in terms of tournament, everything is at least 50%. But Altaria Gorgeist, it's 44% into Altaria Greninja. So there's something to that, right? So I think it finally deserves to be an S tier this season. As long as you don't brick, of course. Just don't brick. Just draw your cards type shit. King stops their Gren or Gorg can KO the frog. Yeah, I mean, I would say like as a main, pretty much Altaria Gorgeist main this season, I do not fear this deck as well. But this deck is really good for a lot of reasons, right? You're not only going against Altaria Gorgeist. But let's get out the other complex out of the way. Whimsicott, okay, I will for the sake of Mangberting, I will not put Whimsicott in dumpster tier this season. Let's put it in cope tier. I did face this the other day and actually lost to it, which is so funny. And my misery, I mean, I did lose to it. We'll put it in cope tier. It deserves to be here. Let's not put it in D tier this time. And another Mangberting deck, Gardevoir. Gardevoir is actually mid tier this season, low key. I would not. It's not a rank deck at all. It's not a rank deck at all, but it has this deck actually has a good tournament data right now. It has a 50% in tournament, which is really impressive. Yeah, that's why it's not a good rank deck. It just doesn't hit pretty much any breakpoint at all. But I think it deserves to be mid tier for the reason that it's actually a bit goated in tournament. Like Gardevoir being 50% in tournament, that's we have to celebrate that. Everyone's favorite Gardevoir is actually playable. Okay, next is Lopunny Annihilate. This is so funny. This is literally the worst psy-off that happened this season. I think it was Seraru that won with this. I think it was Seraru that won with this in one tournament, and then everyone thought it's the next big thing. But nah, I wouldn't even put this cope tier. This is dumpster tier. It's going straight to dumpster tier. Like I mean, I guess I can put it there because it does have a tournament win. But nah, do not play this on rank. You're throwing Lopunny Mara. Okay, we're to the last few decks left, and a lot of these are pretty much the meta guys. So let's go through them. Okay, let's go with Zard first. Zard, I didn't see pretty much Zard this season. I didn't see much Zard this season, so and I didn't get to play it myself because there's just other decks that are better to be played than instead of playing Charizard and right. Oh wow, you're generous. You want to put this in A? Nah, this is definitely mid tier. This is definitely mid tier. Summer here. Zard ties my Altaria a lot. Yeah, Zard is good. The problem is there's a lot of Altaria. As long as Altaria doesn't fall behind too much, Altaria should just easily clear this deck. Actually, I'll put it actually, yeah, I think Zard is I would say Zard is better than Suicune Greninja this season. Because it does auto win. It does almost all the time auto win if you get Zard on board. Hot take of the season, better than Suicune Greninja. And for the other fire deck, this evil psy-op, Blaziken Hitmore, the one that Sigon posted the other day, which is so funny. And Poncho, yeah, I think if you do want to play Zard this season, if you still want to play it in the last few days, I don't think Poncho is needed for sure. I see Blaze more than Zard. That makes sense because Sigon posted about this deck. So everyone is ooh, Sigon played this. This must work. Unfortunately, it's another mid-tier deck. I would put it past Horizon, I guess. I think yeah, probably the best mid-tier deck. I would put it the best mid-tier deck. Yeah, it does, but your two Rocky helmets that does help quite a bit. Your two Rocky helmets does help quite a bit, and you're also playing a Combusken. So it's not really the worst mashup. As long as you don't like break your Rocky helmet, not and you get a Combusken, you have a high chance. Yeah, it has two Rockies. That's why you're not really that super afraid of Chingling. Okay, last few decks. Altaria Meowth. I think Altaria Meowth is only A tier. I wouldn't put it I wouldn't put it S tier, but it's definitely still a strong pretty much strong Greninja Altaria deck. This is just too scammy. The problem with this deck is it's too scammy. King doesn't do well versus it. But I will not deny it's still a very strong deck because it's really scammy. King versus Meowth. Yeah. Like this deck shouldn't be that good, but because Meowth is just that guy, it's actually annoying. Okay, last few decks. I guess let's go with Altaria Meowth. Altaria Meowth, rather. Altaria Meljota. I think Altaria Meljota is also a really... I wonder if I put this in S tier? Because the funny thing is, Altaria Meljota is good into the Altaria Gourgeist Mirror. Because you will get to your guys faster. The funny thing is actually good into the Altaria Gourgeist Mirror. But anything else, I think it doesn't really do that well into, because you don't have the Chingling control. That's why whenever people tell me Altaria Meljota is better, I always tell them that I still prefer Chingling. Yeah, if you like start with Meljota, it's so goated. But like the moment you don't start with it, it's pretty much it pretty much defeats the purpose of the deck. Alt Meljota is with Jirachi or Gourgeist. It's with Jirachi and Gourgeist, yeah. It is kind of the same deck, but the difference is the Chingling for sure. Also, hello Jokrazi, my goat. You're just in time. We're still in the about to end that tier list, but you're still in time. I guess I will still put this in A tier though. I would say I'll still put this in A tier. Save the just to rage the chat, right? Rage bait the chat. Yeah, that's the problem with yeah. Exactly. That's the problem with Alt Meljota. You have to start Meljota. If you don't start Alt Meljota, it's defeating the purpose of the deck. And you also do not have the Chingling luck. That's why I always say Chingling luck is better than whatever this turbo deck is. So I'll put this in A tier. Maybe here, somewhere between there. I think I'll say I'll put it above Meowth rather. Okay, last 4 decks. This Altaria Chingling is pretty much the Altaria Ensemble cast. You're playing Chingling, you're playing Klefki, you're playing Tapu Lele. This is pretty much that deck. And this deck is also still very strong because it's kind of I would say let's say it's pretty much what you would say an Altaria box. Yeah, Psychic box kind of. We would say we can call it Altaria box, I guess. Because this deck can play Rocky Helmet, can play Ice Pop. But the problem of the deck, I guess, is there's straight up just better Altaria decks. Unfortunately, with like the 5 million Altaria decks available, there's way too much. I was gonna say B, to be honest. Ooh, I think I can actually be generous and still put this in A, because it's just it's an alternative still. It's just not a good There's just a better Altaria decks pretty much. Like, I can even put it here. Bottom A or top B. It's between here for sure. Between here. Because the good thing with this deck, it can run so many tech cards. Altaria's Love. It can run so many tech cards. And Toru, thank you for the follow. Welcome, welcome. You're in time. You're still in time for the remainder of the tier list. Yeah, just Tingling, Stall Slap, and I guess you can play Gazma here. You can play Rocky Helmet. You can play Ice Pop. You can play whatever you want, pretty much. You can play Furfro. Just do whatever. Just auto build the deck low key. Okay, last 3 decks. Let's get Dark Tina out of the way first. Dark Tina is mid tier. Mid tier. Where is it in mid tier though? Here? Yeah, Loki here. I would say it's still better than Suicune Greninja to play this season. All I needed was 5 games earlier. Bottom mid tier. All I needed was 5 games. Did you guys not see the cinema games earlier? I believe the GOAT still deserves recognition. Nah, Jokrazi, you weren't here. I went 4-1 with Dark Tina. Oh yeah, 5-1, 5-1. We went 5-1 with Dark Tina just now. 5-1 dito and he puts it. Sensi, like, people would kill me if I put it in A tier. People would literally reach out through the screen and TOS me right now. Yeah, I went 5-1. I went 5-1 with it, Joker. It was insane. I defeated Suicune Baxcalibur. I defeated Hydreigon. I defeated Bellibolt. Bro, we were playing against meta decks. For real. Just we're not lying. Yeah, even Veno, bro. The games were cinema. I'm telling you. What about Ogerpon Leafeon? I never saw Ogerpon Leafeon this season, so it did not make the cut, unfortunately. Sausage. Like, yeah, Sensei is the Dark Tina goat. I should have listened to you earlier. Should have listened to Sensei, my goat, earlier. But we'll save Suicune Baxcalibur for last. We have a lot of things to say about this deck. But Absol Greninja, this is Loki, my goat. This deck is a high skill ceiling deck. Very, very, very strong deck, but you need to be skillful to actually play this deck. And I'm not skillful enough to play this deck, that's why it's fun. Top A, low-key. I can low-key agree with it. Top A? Yeah, low-key, I will agree with that. I have DT saved in my deck slot. WSI off. But yeah, Absol Greninja is a really strong deck. But you need to be a good player to be able to perform well with it. It's the best of the season. Yeah, it's a really strong deck. I need to learn it more. I unfortunately suck playing it, that's why. Okay, the last deck of the season. My favorite deck. Suicune Baxcalibur. To be honest, I never was a believer of Suicune Baxcalibur. But after playing it myself, I do believe in it now. It's a good deck. I will not deny it's a good deck now. Ooh, someone saying Sensei is saying it's S. Below alt. Ooh, people are saying it's S. Interesting. I'm thinking about it. Because it's a really, I guess I guess the thing why I kind of what do you call this? why this deck was a bit a lot weaker on the early of the season, because people haven't found the right build yet. But throughout the end of the season, the deck's biggest. Throughout the end of the season, people found out the best way to build Suicune Excalibur, and it's a 2 cape. Always play 2 cape, 2 cape 1 boat. If you're not playing 2 cape 1 boat, don't even bother playing this deck. 2 cape 1 boat is what made this deck very, very strong, because even Altaria Gorgas is actually a good matchup, or rather a playable matchup. Especially if you start Suicune. If you start Suicune, a lot of the times, Altaria needs a lot of things to align for them for it to win. Otherwise, it won't win. I don't run 2 cape. I mean, I guess you're running 2 copycats, so there's that. So as long as you're getting cape, you need cape. The very important thing is you need to get your cape, especially in the losing matchups that you have. But do I put this in S tier? Let me think. I think Suicune Excalibur is... Oh wait, okay. Another JJK reference. Another JJK reference. S tier is Satoru Gojo tier. S tier is Satoru Gojo tier. But Suicune Excalibur is Toji. Suicune Excalibur is Toji. So unfortunately, it doesn't compare to Satoru Gojo. Bro, I'm just saying bullshit. I hope the JJK knowers can get whatever I'm yapping about. Top of A? Would I put it on top of A? It's between here. For sure. Either here. It's Toji. This is Toji. What would we compare Greninja Absol though? Because Bellibolt is Yuta. Okay, Greninja Absol is Yuji. Greninja Absol is end of JJK Yuji. Greninja Absol is end of JJK Yuji. This is Satoru Gojo. This is Ryomen Sukuna. This is how we make an tier list. Let's just compare it to JJK type shit. But yeah, I think this is how we, as we're gonna say, if you're talking about ending JJ, yeah, ending of JJK Yuji for sure. I'd be happy with the tier list if you put nothing in S tier and move those. Yeah, for sure. It's ending of JJK Yuji. It's not anime Yuji right now. A tier list needs to have something in S, and I think at least Altaria Gorgas is everyone can agree. Maybe this is debatable. This definitely is. If you do not agree Altaria Gorgas is not S tier, then you just don't know ball. Mega Steelix is Panda. The Dex and Dieter. This is Ichiji. This is Ichiji. But yeah, I think that's the tier list for now. I think this is the tier list of a low rank guy. Of a wash 4-time top 100 nobody.